Hey guys, this is Multiverse Nerds. You're watching Geek Gossip. I'm Russ.
And I'm Rob. Welcome to our world. Well, Gamma Trade Show, we want to shout out to you and say thank you. We got a copy early of Dice Masters. When I say copy, I mean the starter of Dice Masters, Avengers vs. X-Men. Holy cow, the anticipation for this game for you and I has been through the roof. I mean, every day, Frank, have they changed the date? Is it coming still in April? Frank, is it still coming in April? Frank, do you have ours? You know, we've been harking on this. Dude.
Yeah, you and I have been talking about this since December.
Yeah.
So it's so nice to finally get the box, crack it open, check out the character cards, check out the dice.
Yep.
So Dice Masters is a dice building game from the same company who brings you HeroClix. And it is developed by the same guys who created Quarriors, which is the first dice building game. And it was finally nice to sit down, you know, get it all on the table, learn the game system, play a couple of games, and give you guys our first thoughts. So right off the bat, Rob, what do you think about this?
I'm a huge Avengers fan. Read the Avengers vs. X-Men story arc. I was so excited, man. In cracking this open, I was a little worried what characters we were getting. Now that we know, I had Thor starting out. I was already pleased. I was like, hey, I got Thor, man. I'm set. Let's go. You know, pop it open. The dice look good. Better quality than the Quarriors, in my opinion. There's not paint missing on it. I mean, there's a few, but it's not as bad as Quarriors, where you couldn't even read what it was. I mean, the dice, they look awesome. I mean, I love picking it up and seeing Thor's helmet with the wings on it. I was like, yes.
One of the amazing things about this is each individual hero has their own custom dice.
Yep.
You know, Hulk has his fists. Spider-Man has the spider symbol.
Human Torch has a flying Human Torch.
Yeah, and you know, Iron Man has the arc reactor.
Yeah.
So you know, they each have their own custom dice, which is awesome to see like the color schemes and everything. They all look different. None of the dice look the same, which is awesome for the fact that you know it's easy to separate them out.
Yep.
And so on and so forth. Also, one of the huge things that I know the three of us really liked was that each starter deck comes with a checklist of everything from the booster packs. And one of the great things about the starter deck leading into the booster packs is everything in the starter deck, all the cards that you receive in the starter deck are not reprinted in the booster pack. So you immediately do not have to worry about seeing 30 copies of Beast.
That you already bought.
Exactly.
However, you have to buy this, though, to play the game. You have to buy the starter deck.
You won't get the sidekick dice in booster packs. So you do have to pick this up initially if you want to play the game. Retails for $14.99. So, you know, and keep in mind, folks, this is a two-player starter. You don't have to pick it up with someone else, and you each have one. Both people can play with just this. So that's, you know, that's a huge plus as well.
Yeah, and the action cards, too. We had, what, 8 different types of action cards in there? 9, something like that. There's only what we can see on this checklist. There might be 2 more. We can't tell what the Vibranium Shield or Mjolnir is. I mean, you have to pick them up for a good set of action cards. So, I mean, we have that coming out. You have your 8 playable characters, the dice that go with it, the starter dice for 2 players, the checklist, 3 different cards for each character, that is, you know, so you can choose your force when you go. And then probably the best part of the game that we got were the bags to put our dice in, right?
Right. Straight from Orville Redenbacher are these hot garbage... You okay, Rob?
I'm good. I was hyperventilating how awesome these are.
Oh, absolutely. You know, in case you guys ever want to confuse your ham sandwich, for, your school lunchbox, with these pieces of trash, I recognize that at some point they had to cut costs. This is ridiculous.
Yes.
After, like, I mean, you know, we played this 8 or 9 times. The wrinkles in these are god-awful. I would only assume another 5 or 10 playthroughs, you're going to start seeing rips in these things.
Yes, and then what are you going to do without a bag? Oh, not play the game because you have to have a bag. So you're going to have to either get one made, have one laying around. You know, they messed up with this.
Yeah, I don't like these. When you go to pick up your starter deck, immediately pick up another dice bag from your local game stores. These are not going to stand the test of time.
No, because if you have a meaty hand like Frank, he was like, you know, he was using the blue one and it's all wrinkled down because he's having a hard time getting his hand in there. You know, yours and my little dainty hands, we could get in the bag. That wasn't a problem. All right, maybe it's just mine. Who knows?
Now, overall, one of the first things I noticed about this game is, you know, this is an expandable game. This is, you know, coinciding with your Magic the Gathering or even your Hero Clicks. There will be a trading aspect to this.
Yep.
But immediately, you know, coming from that standpoint, these games, at least from the starter set, now we haven't seen any of the booster packs yet, we haven't seen any of the heroes from those yet, but just from this starter deck, the game moves incredibly fast.
Really, really fast.
I mean, there's almost a learning curve to, you know, a traditional TCG player, how fast the game progresses versus, say, Magic or L5R or any of your other popular trading card games right now. I mean, you get through a game like this in 10, 15 minutes tops, especially if you are playing the beginning rules game where you each have the 2 heroes. Now, tournament rules will have 20 life.
Yeah.
But the way that the starter deck is set up is each player has 10 life. You know, it does what it's meant to do. It does teach you the mechanics. Mm-hmm. But like I said, the first thing that I noticed about this game was that a learning curve, it speeds the game up. The game is so much faster.
Well, it's also faster. I mean, it took us a little bit longer at first because we didn't know the cards. The good thing about this and Warriors, the difference, is like when you pre-assemble your team, you know what you're using. You don't have to read the card. Like, oh, am I going to buy that one? I don't know. I don't like that power. Am I going to read that one? Okay, what does this one do? You have it in front of you as your force. You know what's going on. Do you really have to worry about the other guys? Only their global effects. You know, everything's just set in front. I think that's why it's so fast is because you know what you're doing already. I mean, when you pick the Captain America, you know what Captain America is going to do on one of his cards. Or the other one. As soon as you learn them, it's going to be a fast-paced game. I understand that.
One of the other things that I really enjoyed about this is, again, you hark back to other tradable aspects. Trading card games kind of being, you know, the big counterpart.
Yeah.
There are so many different play styles represented in just the starter deck. You do see roots for a control team, roots for an aggro team. So you can easily see that, you know, once you get your hands on this, once you get your hands on the Avengers vs. X-Men booster packs, you know, the options, at least from what it seems right now, are endless as far as you can build an aggro team or you can build a control team or something like that. So there are different play styles. Not everyone, it's just roll your dice, throw your guys in, swing your turn, back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, in the new mechanics, too, that they put in between this and Warriors, when I first started playing, I wasn't a big fan. I'm going to be honest. I mean, some of them where if you swing your characters and they go through, they get used. Now, if you block with your characters and they die, they go into your prep phase, so you get to add those to the other dice that you're bringing in to just overwhelm the other army. This is a very strategic game. It's not like put them out, swing, put them out, swing, put them out, swing. You have to build up your army until you have that final thing. It's going to come into a lot of pre-constructed deck. I mean, you got to come in to the tournament knowing your play style, knowing how you're going to do it. It's not one that you can just pop up and play because you likelihood you're going to lose. I mean, granted, it's still based a lot on luck. I mean, taking one of the die, rolling it, oh, I didn't get what I needed. You know what? The luck is still based in any type of dice playing game.
And to bounce off your point, one of the mechanics that they added that originally I didn't like, but then started to enjoy more, is that on your turn, you can re-roll all of your dice, or up to as many dice as you want to. And that kind of at least balances out as best they can with the luck. I mean, if you just roll garbage, you at least get another opportunity to roll something usable.
Yeah.
So, one game that you're playing with a friend, you're not just blown out of the water because you keep rolling garbage.
Yeah, but you can also get blown out of the water if, like, he gets 2 Thors in his hand, and then you don't have anything out. Oh, you rolled the 4 dice. They're both 5 hitters. Game over. Because you got to re-roll the Thors to make sure you got what you wanted. That's the part I wasn't very happy with. When I played the first time with you, or with Frank, that's what happened to me. I didn't know that. The mechanic of, oh, my guys went through, they're gone, or he blocked with his, they didn't die, so they're still there, mine are, gone now. I mean, he went right through the next turn. I had him down to 1, he was at 9, I was done.
Yeah, the rule system for this game definitely takes some getting used to. You are not going to learn all the rules for this game in your first 1, 2, potentially even 3 playthroughs. I mean, it took a good 4 or 5 to even get comfortable with what was in front of me, what was going on, your prep pile versus your used pile, and so on and so forth. So, you guys hear us mention Couriers a lot. If you've never played Couriers, you're still okay for this game.
Yeah.
You don't have to play Couriers to understand this game.
No, Couriers just helped out because it still has a lot of the basic rules.
Well, and it's created by the same guys who made it.
Yeah, so they're not going to deviate so much away from it to where it's a whole nother game. It's kind of one of those, honestly, it's an easy learning game. Couriers is an easy learning game. Okay, so the guys that play Couriers, big Courier people, can pick this up, not have a problem, learn 2, 3 additional rules, boom, you're set, you can play.
And for anyone who hasn't played this game, do not deter away from playing this because you've heard what we said. Honestly, I mean, it takes about 10 minutes to get through a game, at least with just the starter set.
Yeah.
I want to say 45 minutes, someone who's never played a dice building game before can pick up and know how to play this game.
Without a problem.
In comparison to a lot of other games, again, I hark back to Magic or HeroClix. In comparison, this game is very easy to learn. It's generally straightforward, and even in the rule book, there's a nice little play mat that kind of shows you all the details of what happens in every phase of the turn. So it's not so hard to grasp. There are some fine details. For instance, it took Frank and I a little while to realize that you could save energy and use on your opponent's turn.
Yeah. What's funny is we didn't know that when him and I were playtesting it first. We were doing it and we didn't know that. So when you guys got to go through and reread the rule book, you got to see that and got to do that. We still played through it without it, and it was still fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a fun game. One thing I do want to say about this is the price point. Cheap. You bring up Magic, you bring up HeroClix. This right here is wallet friendly. Flat out, your boosters are what, 99 cents at retail for?
Yep.
Who can't drop $1? I mean, you're getting 2 cards, 2 dice. Perfect. It's awesome. It's not like your $3.95 booster pack or your $12.99 booster for your HeroClix. It's cheap. It's easy to play. It's fun to play. It's superhero based. Who doesn't like superheroes?
Yeah, and another one of the great things about the price point is, again, these retail for $14.99. It's a 2-player starter. You can purchase this, have enough to play a whole bunch of times over because each player has a team of 4. Each hero has 3 different cards. There's tons of replay value just in the starter set.
Yeah, because you're not stuck with those 4 characters either.
Exactly. You don't have to commit to the booster packs to play Dice Masters. So it is.
But the good thing about the boosters is you get a lot. You get a lot of characters. You have, who do we have in here? We have Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Spider-Man, Storm, Beast, and Human Torch. Those are your 8 that you get in here. They only have 1 additional card that you can vary from the 3 that they have each from there. The rest of them, brand new characters. You're bringing in Hawkeye. You're bringing in Doctor Doom. You're bringing in Nova. A lot of people don't know Nova. I do. I'm excited. So we don't know how they're going to play. You still have the rarity value of the common, uncommon, super rare, and then the rares, of course. I mean, you have those options, okay? That's the cool thing. You're not stuck with just these, though. If you're like, I'm a big Deadpool fan, he's in the boosters. You do have to buy the boosters to get there. We haven't played them yet. We did play these guys. let's talk about the characters, though, and what you thought on some of the characters.
Definitely, right out of the box, there's one Storm that is absolutely OP. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I honestly, the game's not even out yet. I immediately see that Storm being run in tournament decks.
Yeah, everyone.
The fact that, every time you launch an attack, your opponent has to reroll all of his character dice, and if they're not characters, well, that sucks.
They're gone. You're just swinging straight through and take all that damage.
Right, and I mean, yeah, you can play with the 20 life, but easily if you're playing with the 10 life, that's game.
Yeah. Because the cool thing is you get to build up your dice as soon as you get the boosters. It says like max 4 for the dice you can have on her. Buy all 4, put them on there, just build up your army. Oh, guess what? I'm attack with Storm. Reroll them. Oh, I wiped out half the field. Reroll them. There goes the rest. Now I'll swing through for my 20. It's control style, which you like, so that's good,
And one other thing about this that is really awesome is WizKids has already set up organized play for this. If you're used to HeroClix, again, which is the same company that makes Dice Masters, the fact that organized play is already developed and created for this, the promotional cards and dice are already.
I mean, the first, if you win the tournament, it's the Phoenix Force. How cool is that? I mean, it goes right with the storyline with Avengers vs. X-Men. You get a Phoenix Force. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and in addition to this, they've already said there's going to be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Base set. And then what I'm super excited for is there's going to be a DC set. So, I look forward to WizKids using all of the licenses that they use with HeroClix for Dice Masters. Yep. So I really see nothing but positive things in the future for this game.
Yeah, I mean, the game to me is sick nasty. It's awesome. I love it. It's great. The dice, cool. Not so much, but the dice are cool. I mean, if anything, I don't know, man. It's just a fun game to play. It's cheap. It's fun. Easy to learn. I mean, even if you're not a big game type of person, playing the game, learning it, it's easy. It's a good, good game to pick up.
Absolutely.
And it's cheap. It's cheap.
I completely agree. So based off this starter deck alone, what score do you give this?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I had to be honest to the viewers. When I first heard about this game, I was like, dude, this is a 14 out of 10. I cannot wait. It's my superheroes, Avengers vs. X-Men. It's gonna be great. I love quarters. This can only be better. Playing it as much as we did with the new mechanics, it went from a 14. I'm gonna be honest too, an 8.5. I still enjoyed it. Storm was OP. Hulk and all them. I still got Thor. I loved it. I loved how it played. This brought it down as well. Our Orville Redenbacher, nacho cheese flavored bag here. I mean,
low cholesterol.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sticking at 8.5. I love the game. I think it's going to take off 8.5 solid.
I'm going to agree completely with you. I'm going to give it an 8.5 as well. I love the fact that at $14.99 you get everything you need for 2 players to play. Mm-hmm. That's not represented a lot right now with most trading card games or even HeroClix. Each player has to pick up their own deck. This is a 2-player deck, a huge selling point for me. And just playing with what we've played with, I cannot wait to see future sets and then just the boosters alone for this.
Yep. I'm pumped. I'm ready for it to come out full-fledged.
Yeah. Guys, get excited for this. Get into it. Support it. It's going to be big time. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thanks as always for watching. And if you like what you see here, check out multiversenerds.com, and we'll see you soon.